guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Today we are going to talk about 10 tips for group writing. Alright, like I mentioned before, I have 10 tips to writing in a group. Number one, learn your hand signals. Doesn't matter if you're new or an experienced writer, when you're writing in a group, you must know your hand signals. Number two, do not target fix. What I mean by that is when you are in the middle of the pack, you do not want to focus your attention on the bike in front of you. You want to at least focus 10 seconds out from where you're at. Always look in front of you. Do not fixate on the bike in front of you for safety reasons. Rule number three, or tip number three, don't show off. I think this might be my biggest pet peeve when it comes to writing in a group. Showing off can get you hurt, killed, and other people around you. So yeah, don't show off. That's half of the reasons why a lot of people don't write in groups, is because of that one thing. Number four, don't pass other writers. When you are in a pack, you do not pass other writers up. One, it's disrespectful, and number two, again, a safety reason. So don't pass no one up. Number five, the 3-second rule. The 3-second rule is this: you write 3 seconds from the person either in front of you and the person behind you. So there should be at least a good enough gap for you to be able to stop if you need to be, but also it prevents other vehicles from getting into that group and possibly causing a car accident. Tip number 6, prep your bike. Before you even get on the road, whether you're in a group or not, you should always prep your bike. You should always check your tires. You should check your pressure, your tire pressure, and you want to make sure you check your back lights. I've had on occasion, I rode in a group and my light was out, did not know, made sure I changed it for the next ride out. Also, you want to check your front lights to make sure those working as well. Make sure your turn signals are working. Another thing you want to do when you prep your bike is you want to make sure you have your insurance on you. If you know your ID has an endorsement, because you can in some states get a ticket if you don't have a motorcycle endorsement, but you always want to have your motorcycle insurance, registration, and your endorsement for safety purposes. Tip number 7, prep yourself. What I mean by that is sometimes, especially here in Louisiana, it gets really hot during the summer, and you want to wear short sleeve shirts. And I see some people wearing shorts and flip-flops. That's a no-no. But it does get hot down here, so it's okay. But as long as you can ride your ride and do it safely, some people will gear completely up from head to toe, and that's fine too. But just remember, you want to prep yourself, because if you got to start taking off layers, that causes time, and your time's valuable and the people you're riding with is valuable. So you want to make sure that you are riding in a good condition and you got the gear to ride in such conditions, whether it's raining, if it's cold outside. You want to be able to have that gear just in case, so we're not having to stop to go get something, or if you forgot something. So make sure you prep yourself. And again, along the lines of prepping yourself, you want to make sure you have a good night's rest, because if you're sleepy and you're tired the day of the ride, mistakes can happen when you're tired. So focus, prep yourself. Tip number 8, maintain your speed. So if I'm doing 70 miles per hour and people are behind me, they should be doing around the same speed, if not less. And we don't want what they call a rubber band effect. So let's say I'm riding here and I'm doing about 70, and the bike behind me is doing this motion. That is called the rubber band effect. And you do not want that, because one, it's a safety concern because of the people behind that rider, but also because that leaves a gap and another vehicle can get in, and that can cause an accident. Tip number 9, signals start from the front to the back, and movement goes from the back to the front. Meaning, if the lead is throwing up hand signals from the front, that needs to be communicated like telephone, but needs to be communicated all the way back to the tail. Once the tail receives that signal, they will secure that spot, whether we're going into the left lane or to the right lane. But that tail needs to have that signal. And once the tail secures that line, then that movement should start with the tail and work its way up to the front safely, fast, and efficiency. So it should be really smooth. Tip number 10, most important tip, ride your ride. We all ride different varieties of bikes, different speeds, different motors on our bike, but you want to be able to ride your own ride, because it's not just the group as a whole, but your experience within that group. And you want to be able to enjoy it without having to worry about the person in front of you and in back of you. And of course you do want to worry, because those are your brothers and sisters on the road. However, if you don't feel comfortable going a certain speed, you got to make sure you let the lead know, or let the people who are going to be in front of you or behind you know, hey, look, I'm not going to go this speed, but we're going to have to adapt to that speed, because we want to make sure you are also safe and you are having a good and enjoyable ride. So I know a lot of people don't like group riding for various of reasons. I absolutely love it. It is great to see. I love how when we ride in a pack and cars are passing and you might see a little kid in the back seat waving. That is the greatest feeling in the world to me. I love it. I live for it. But there's some that don't, and you got to respect that. But for those that do, you really need to make sure you know how to ride within a group. Take some classes, maybe start riding, maybe in a group of 3 before you get into a bigger group. But that's it. Those are my 10 tips for riding in a group. If you have even more tips that I did not share or might apply, leave a comment below. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get more videos out. And yeah, happy riding, y'all. Talk at you later.